Hey YouTube, this is TCG Battles Collections here. Today I am coming with you for a future card Buddyfight deck profile. I just got this deck and I have been, trying it out lately. I haven't really lost a match yet with this deck. Basically a hybrid between like the Jackknives, Dragon Knights, and a few Thunder and like two Thunder Knights were thrown into the mix, and some regular dragons. Anyway, starting off, I'm playing Dragon World, so the Dragon World flag, and the buddy for the deck is Jackknife Dragon, of course. Now that and this deck I'm playing with the Jackknife series mainly, so having Jackknife Dragon as the buddy will kind of up my game. Let's start off with the size 1s. I've got 2 Blade Chakram Dragons, 6,000 power, 3,000 defense, and 1 critical. Mainly have these cards just for power, not critical. 2 Thunder Knights Iron Fist Dragon. They both have the same ability. If they both have the ability move, only if you have another Thunder Knight out. So if I have both of these, I can use move. Next, 3 Slash Knife Dragons. Their ability Shadow Maneuver. Pay 1 gauge. You can attack the opponent directly, even if they have a monster in the center. So those are mainly like if you want to get quick attacks. Next is 1 copy of Dragon Knight Masamune, 3,000 attack and defense, and 2 critical. A good size 1 monster, just for Dragon Knights. And I've also got a Blade Wing Dragon with the ability moves, so I can move him to any position I want during either turn. Next, 1 copy of My Buddy, which I got from the first trial deck. I can use this to buddy call even if I don't have as long as I have 4 less buddies in this deck. I can have up to 1 My Buddy in my deck. I might have 3 Jackknife Dragons in the deck, so not counting the buddy one. So this will be good to buddy call if I don't have another Jackknife Dragon. Next, 1 Systemic Dagger Dragon, 3,000 attack and defense, 2 crit. I'm planning on having at least 1 of these so I can get like the new evolution Systemic Dagger Anka. 1,000 Rapier Dragon from Trial Deck 1, if you can tell from down here. 5,000 attack, 2 crit, and 1,000 defense. A strong attacker. I'm planning on getting the Million Rapier Dragon for this deck. Trying to get like a couple of evolutions in here. And finally, for the size 1s, is 1 copy of Bronze Shield Dragon, 2,000 power, 6,000 defense, and 1 critical. Mainly have this guy just for defensive purposes, in case I need to buy time. Next, we got onto the size 2s. We got 1 copy of Steel Gauntlet Dragon, 4,000 attack, 7,000 defense, and 2 critical. This guy I mainly keep for defensive purposes, just like Bronze Shield Dragon. And, well, just by time if I need to get any more new cards. Next, Fire Rod Dragon. With its ability, pay 1 gauge. It's an active ability. Fire Wand. You can give 3,000 power to any armor dragon you want. So you can give it to itself, to discard, or any other one. So that's good. Next, 1 copy of Thunder Knight's Battle Axe Dragon. Pay 2 gauge and call it. Overall, good cost, because it's got 5,000 attack and defense with 4 critical. Pretty high critical for a size 2. So I'm going to need more monsters like that. Next, 1 Dragon Knight, excuse me if I pronounce this wrong, but Kagekyo. This guy's one of a lot of armor Dragon Knights that have the ability just to put them into the gauge instead of putting them into the drop zone. Cards like this will actually help people who have a lot of cards that need, who play a lot of spells or monsters that have a lot of costs. So you can build up the gauge with cards like this. Just have 1 of those for now. Next, I've got 1 Dragon Knight Wait ARP, I think it's called, the Wyatt ARP, EARP, I don't know. 4,000 attack, 3 crit, 3000 defense. Its skill, Frontline Special. You can rest this card. And you can destroy a monster with 4000 or less power. So an overall good card because a lot of the people I verse have a lot of size 1 monster, size 1 and zeros because they mainly play Danger World. In Dragon World, not that often. Next, one of my favorite Dragon Knights so far. It's Dragon Knight Vlad Dracula, the double rare for booster pack 2. Pay 3 gauge to call this card, and this is continuous throughout the game. Bloody Charge. It gets +1 critical for every Dragon Knight in the drop zone. So I only have 3 Dragon Knights, not including him. So if we have all 3 of them in the drop zone, then that'll give him 3 critical. So basically the same amount of critical as any size 2 monster. Next, here come the Jackknife Evolutions. 2 Jackknife Thunderstorms. Call cost, pay 1 gauge, put it on top of a Jackknife card. Its act ability, Thunder Raid, by paying 2 life. If this card's on the right or left, you can destroy one of your opponent's monsters. And this card has Soul Guard, so just so you know, you can't put one Jackknife Thunderstorm on top of the other. It doesn't matter if it's Jackknife Dragon or not. So I'm planning on getting some more Jackknife Evolutions, like especially from Extra Booster Pack 2, Jackknife Savior with the ability to move. That card will help my deck's balance. Next, 2 Jackknife Dispersals. Same call cost as Jackknife Thunderstorm. Pay 1 gauge to put on top of a card with Jackknife in its name. Its ability, if it's on the left or right, it gets Penetrate. But I made this mistake once, but regardless, this card has Soul Guard. So it's got Soul Guard regardless whether or not it's on the left or right. So if you're preparing for like Jackknife Savior kind of build or Jackknife Aggressor, then just keep building Jackknives on top of each other. Next, I got in my main deck I got 3 copies of Jackknife Dragon. I'm planning on getting another one, but if I do, I'm probably not going to. If I do, I'm going to remove the My Buddy card from my decks because I need to have less than 4 cards that are for the same copy of my Buddy. So there's that. Its ability I already told you. Its call cost, pay 1 gauge. Act ability, pay 2 gauge, and you can call Jackknife card on top of this card. Next, the only size 3 I have in my deck. I mean, I know I should have like at least one more size 3, but I think this card will speak for itself. Super Armor Dragon or a Sword Dragon. Now its call cost is pay 3 gauge, and you can put a card from your hand into its soul. So you can tell right then and there from the cost that it's gonna have Soul Guard. Anyway, it has a counter ability. It's called Aura Boost. You can pay 1 life, and if you do, for this turn, this card gets 3000 power. So at first I was thinking, wow, during my opponent's turn, you can get 3000 power if I pay some life. But then it said attack, not defense. And when an opponent's monster is attacking, that means it's the defense counts, not the attack. Which means that this will only be good on my turn. Like let's say they have a Drago Energy or something. It'll be pretty good to have another 3000 power for as much as I need. That's it for the monsters. Now onto the spells. One of my favorite spells, and I think everyone who plays Dragon World, is Green Dragon Shield. Got 4 copies of this. This counter spell, it nullifies an attack if you have an open center and you gain 1 life. So basically, stops an attack and you get extra life. That's a good ability if you need one. Next, a must-have card if you're making a Jackknife, mainly a Jackknife build. Jackknife Braveheart. Cash cost is 2 gauge, and you can search your deck for a Jackknife card and add it to your hand. So if you buddy call Jackknife Dragon, you can search your deck for let's say Jackknife Thunderstorm, and put it on top of him by doing the regular call cost. So that's basically how those cards work. So I've done that a couple of times. Next, another counter spell, Drago Energy. You can cast this when your monster attacks or is attacked. It gets 3,000 power and defense. And if the monster that it battled with is still on the field after this card's activation, you automatically destroy it if its defense is less than or equal to the power of the monster. So it can work really well with Aura Sword Dragon. Next, another counter spell, Dragonic Charge. Lucky it doesn't need any costs. This counter spell, you can put the top 2 cards of your deck into the gauge. So you can chain one Dragonic Charge with another, engage 4 cards in one turn. Planning on getting some more Dragonic Charges in this deck just to help increase gauge. Next, Dragon Flame. I only have two copies because not a lot of people have 5,000 attackers anymore. So its ability destroy a monster with 5,000 or less power. A decent spell. But here's one of my here's my favorite counter spell. Here's one of my favorites. I got 2 copies of Astral Force. Cast cost pay 3 gauge. Counter choose an armor dragon in battle, and it gets 10,000 power and defense, and it gets the counter attack, which is the same thing as Drago Energy if the monster that it battled with is still in the field. It's automatically destroyed if its defense is lower than the monster's attack. Next, just one copy of Dragon Breath. I like having a lot of cards to destroy my opponent's monsters because a lot of them don't go away with like the triple offensive maneuver where you can have 3 monsters out, only 2 monsters on the left. 2 monsters on the left and right position, and have an item in the middle. So it really messes with people that use the defensive maneuver, which fills up all their circles. So cards like that are really good. Next, 1 copy of Green Dragon Knight's Song of Ancient Land. This is a set spell. You can keep it on the field for as long as you want, for the whole game, if no one has a card that can destroy it. Its cast cost, pay 1 gauge. Not that big of a deal. But here's what's awesome. When an armor dragon enters the field, you gain 1 life. So let's say you have 3 size 1s. Call 3 size 1s. With this card, you have 1 life for each one. You get 3 life in 1 turn. And if one of those was a buddy call, instant 4 life. So every turn you can just gain 1 life, but you can only have one copy on the field. Next, the items. I only run 3 items. Dragon Blade, Drago Brave, equip cost, discard 1 card, and pay 1 gauge. 5,000 power, 3 crit. I like this card. It actually looks pretty cool. I don't really like running. I like running weapons, but I'm planning on getting like better ones because Drago Fearless comes with the trial deck, and it's not exactly that powerful. Next, the impact cards. 3 copies of Dragonic Punisher. I like how they made these cards sideways. It's cool. Anyway, it's cast cost, pay 4 gauge and 2 life. You may only cast this card if your opponent has 4 life or less, and if you have a size 2 or greater armor dragon on the field, and you automatically deal 4 damage to your opponent. I've just run 3 copies of these because I'm planning on getting another impact card and replacing one of them, just so I don't have cards that take away life. Maybe get a Dragonic Punisher if I can. Anyway, so that was my future card Buddyfight deck profile. Planning on doing like booster pack openings and stuff. Until next time, this has been TCG Battles Collections. Thank you.